military communications, tech industry secrets, and maritime transmissions. These are some of the communications that experts say may be intercepted by a new intelligence gathering and military training facility in Cuba, built in partnership with China. Experts say China is trying to replicate the US's global surveillance capabilities, and Cuba could play a crucial role in that plan.
The U.S. has always had the advantage because we've had the geography, and that's why Cuba would be an important asset for China.
So how does Cuba fit into China's global eavesdropping strategy? And what do China's other spy bases tell us about how this one could look? Both the US and China already operate a number of listening posts around the world as part of their signals intelligence, or SIGINT, programs. That's the process of eavesdropping on the voice conversations, text messages, emails, location signals, and data transmissions that fly around the world constantly. In June, US officials said China had reached an agreement worth several $1 billion with Cuba. The deal would allow the island nation to build a new military facility capable of electronic eavesdropping, 100 miles from the Florida Keys. Beijing and Havana have both denied the planned facility, but US officials say China and Cuba already jointly run 4 eavesdropping stations on the island. And experts say this is just the latest chapter in a long history of Cuba's eavesdropping capabilities.
Russia used Cuba for decades because it was the one place that they could build a listening post and collect a lot of the data from the United States.
James Bamford has written 5 books on national security and intelligence agencies, and previously worked for PBS and ABC. He says that a Chinese listening post on Cuba would have a very clear mission.
One of the key things you want to do is eavesdrop on satellites, because so much information is transmitted up to and then downlink from satellites.
These satellites convey much of the world's military, diplomatic, and commercial information. They orbit about 22,000 miles above the Earth at a fixed point over the equator, mostly above the Atlantic, Indian, and Pacific Oceans. Bamford says China has only been able to tap into satellites over the Indian and Pacific Oceans, from facilities in the Spratly Islands and Great Cocoa Island. But listening into communications over the Atlantic Ocean is where Cuba comes in.